Now then, how are you doing? I hope you're well. The Great Barn at East Riddlesden Hall in West Yorkshire is a fine example of a visually interesting, old and complex interior with its spectacular oak roof structure. Painting such a subject in watercolour can be quite challenging, but hey, we all have to step outside our comfort zone from time to time. We've come to visit East Riddlesden Hall, a National Trust property close to where we live, situated just outside Keighley on the banks of the River Aire. Other than having been built in 1642 by a wealthy Halifax clothier, James Murgatroyd, and that it has been used for various film locations over the years, it doesn't have a great deal to say for itself. Well, it's spring, which means the flowers in the well-tended garden are looking good, and there are some rather lovely trees. Speaking of trees, we're here to take a peek at a new addition to the grounds. A sapling taken from the ill-fated Sycamore Gap tree, which was illegally felled in September 2023. Here's hoping it enjoys a long and happy life at Riddlesden. As well as the hall itself, there's a rather impressive duck pond. Alongside this is arguably one of the most impressive, if not the most impressive, medieval barns of its kind in the whole north of England. Simply known as the Great Barn. Its spectacular oak roof structure rises from aisle posts and covers an area measuring 120 feet in length and 40 feet wide. It has two cart entrances, both of which still feature the original heavy-duty barn doors and flagstone floors against which the harvested crops would have been beaten in the winter. Known as threshing, this procedure would have separated grain from husk and straw. Wooden stalls around the outer walls of the barn would have housed cattle during the winter months, along with various carts and ploughing machinery. It's difficult not to be impressed with such craftsmanship and the fact that I'm sure it still looks pretty much the same as it would have looked in the 1600s. Now, I love buildings like this. And the minute I stepped inside, I just knew that this was something I would like to try and capture in watercolour. Decisions regarding the distribution of these brush marks are partly made in accordance with the source photograph and partly on the fly. I say this because I know that it doesn't all necessarily match up precisely with the source material, but I'm okay with that because what happens in the painting and how all the elements relate to each other on paper must take priority. Well, for example, I'm aware of the fact that there is, in fact, light coming from somewhere off to the left, as well as through the open doorway. Well, this means that I have to be careful not to create shadows that overtly contradict each other, given the fact that we can't see that second light source. In other words, I'm trying to simplify things a little by concentrating on the open doorway as a matter of priority. This is largely an exercise in close observation and concentrating on painting what you see and not necessarily what you think you know is there. Well, I don't need to understand every strut and joint on the wagon, nor do I need to be an architect and have extensive knowledge of medieval building techniques to be able to draw and paint them. Oh, there will be experts in those fields who could, I'm absolutely certain, pick my painting to bits. But I'm cool with that, if they are. In the end, this is just my interpretation. Light can and does do interesting and occasionally quite extraordinary things. It's worth remembering that light can bounce off other surfaces and illuminate parts of a scene that might at first seem like they should be in dark shadow. Well, the reason I say all this is because the ultimate decision of where shadows should be applied rest on the shoulders of the artist, and as artists we are allowed to engineer light and shadows however we like, provided we aren't creating too many obvious contradictions. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, then please do hit the like button. And if you'd like to see more, why not become a studio member of my YouTube channel? With that, you'll get instant access to the full-length, non-time-lapsed version of the demonstration from which this has just been a very small extract, along with a bursting back catalogue of full-length demonstrations and tutorials for you to enjoy at any time. To subscribe, just hit that join button. There are other sign-up options also available, such as my online tuition service. If you're interested in any of that, you'll find full details in the video description below. And that's me done. I'll be getting back to some landscapes. Until the next time, do take care.